Okay. I cannot think offhand of another international personality who has sparked the intense public fascination as my first guest, and it's a great pleasure to have her here. Would you welcome Miss Elizabeth Taylor? You want the little footstool?
In town.
Well, let's see now. We've been on the air 29 years and 6 months. We got about 3.5 months to go, and we finally got you here.
Well, thank you. You know, I'm not plugging anything. I have nothing to sell. I really wanted to come on the show and thank you for 30 years of brilliant entertainment.
Well, isn't that nice? Thank you for coming, Elizabeth. Now, my next guest. No. Did you come here by motorcycle, or is this your outdoor outfit?
Fat boy.
No, I'm glad you found. We have asked you many times in the past, but I'm just delighted you showed up here.
I am too.
Yeah.
I really look forward to this.
And besides, next Thursday, isn't it? Is your birthday, February the 27th? Pre-happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I wish you were coming.
I wish I could too. You said, I think you were quoted as saying you appreciated this one especially. This was great. How come? Any particular reason? Looking forward to this one? Outside of the you've...
Well, first of all, it's kind of astonishing that I ever made it. It comes as a surprise to me. Sometimes I didn't think I would. And I don't know. Years ago, Grace Kelly and I sat down and had a talk a few months before our kind of impending doom of 40.
Yes.
And we thought, what are we going to do? And we decided just to face it head on and make a big noise out of it and have fun.
Right.
And she had a great party in Monte Carlo, and I had a super party in Budapest. I went to hers, and she came to mine, and dozens of other people.
Right.
And we just entered our 40s with a blast.
Yeah.
And I thought, hell, 40's a child. So at Disney, I mean, what am I going to do for 60? I'm going to give a party for the child in me. So we're going to Disney.
You look marvelous.
Thank
you do.
you.
60. I mean, and they are violet, aren't they? And they are violet.
I don't know, red.
Yeah, as you said, as you're a survivor. I was reading your book the other night, and
you didn't have to do
yeah,
that.
no, I wanted to. You are a stunning-looking person. You ever getting tired of people staring at you when you come into a room?
Not if it's a nice stare.
Really?
No.
It doesn't bother you?
If it's a sweet one, that's nice.
Let me ask you a question. You're going to be 60. You made your first movie when you were, I think, 9 years old.
Yeah, I came out when
9.
I was 10.
Yeah.
So I've been in show business 50 years.
And you were... You know, what's amazing, really, what amazes me is that you were a major motion picture star when you did National Velvet. A lot of people were in the public eye and have been in the public eye a long time, but you've endured, and there's been this fascination. Have you ever considered why that is? A lot of other people just fade away. You haven't.
They've tried.
No, but you ever analyze it? Why they still have the public fascination?
I don't know. I think perhaps it's because I am a survivor. And I'm like a living example of what people can go through and survive.
Yeah.
I've had the lowest valleys, the highest highs. I've had a lot of tragedy in my life. I've had addictions. I've had weight problems. I've had extreme happiness. That's why it's kind of a miracle that I am actually going to be 60.
Yeah.
I've almost died a couple of times.
Yeah, I know.
I've been pronounced dead. So, you know, it's like...
That's true. It was in London, were you not?
I've read my own obituaries. They were best reviews I ever had.
Wow. What is fascinating? How's married life treating you this time?
Great. How's
Really?
yours?
Fine, thank you. Thank you. Mine's just fine. Let's talk about marriage a little bit. I've made jokes about nobody likes to have a marriage that does not work, right?
No,
Nobody likes that.
absolutely not.
And I've often made jokes about mine because I think sometimes by doing that...
mine, too.
Yes, I have. That's absolutely true, but I think you do that to kind of keep the hurt away, and you make jokes about it. Now, when it comes to if marriage was a giant slalom, I mean, I'm a bronze medal winner. You're a gold medal winner, right? I mean, to put it that way. What makes this one seem like it's going to work?
Well, I'm sure you were very cautious this last time.
That is true.
I never thought I'd get married again. I wasn't married for 11 years, which for me is history-making. And I think the circumstances under which we met, you know, to go through therapy together at Betty Ford, you get to know each other really well.
Right.
I mean, there are no secrets.
Right.
And we give each other great support in our sobriety, and there is a kind of closeness that is like nothing show businessy. It's very private.
Right.
And very profound.
What I was interested in, usually, I mean, it's been the case or the model that older men marry younger women. I did. My wife, Alex, is quite a bit younger than I am. On the other hand, recently, it seems that older women are marrying younger men. In your case, that's the way it worked.
Well, no, see, my men have stayed the same age. I used to marry men 20 years older.
That's true.
And they've stayed the same age.
So you said enough already and you went the other way?
Well, no, they're just, you know, around 40. I like it.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good age. Larry is a construction worker.
Yeah.
Right? Been married to a politician. You ever thought of marrying, did you ever think in your career of marrying a comedian? I mean, you know.
They were, most of them, comedians.
Not professional.
Some of them should have been paid.
I'm not sure those of us who do humor are make the best husbands. You know, they might be fun around the house, a lot of laughs, but we're kind of moody too. How would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 as being easy to live with? Do you feel you're easy to live with?
Well, I'm a Pisces, and we're very sensitive.
Yeah, what does that mean now? I was married to a Pisces once.
I'm sure you were.
Oh, I know. I just try to move around the zodiac, you know. That's right. So, do you put any groundwork in astrology at all? The Pisces meaning, I forget, what were the characteristics of a Pisces?
No, I really don't. It's just an excuse. It means you can flake off.
Yeah. You mentioned when you met Larry, going through the clinic and the therapy together. Don't some of those programs suggest that you don't immediately form a relationship until after you're out of there?
They do.
So you
For a
don't have,
year.
so you don't have a need or a dependency?
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
And we were very careful about that, and we were very tentative and cautious, and we were friends.
Yeah.
Before we were serious.
So that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to take a break.
It's almost 4 years.
And we're going to come back, and I've got some other things I want to talk about, okay?
Okay.
We'll be right back. Stay where you are. Okay. Do you prefer Elizabeth or Liz?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. That's what I thought.
I really do.
My mother's middle name was Elizabeth.
Really?
Yeah,
What
really
was
was.
your first name?
What? Ruth?
Ruth?
Yeah, biblical.
Very.
Ruth Elizabeth, yeah. Let me ask you a question. You mentioned just while we were away and the band was playing that when you went on tour, you know, you're talking about your perfume, and we'll talk about it a little bit, that you felt uncomfortable working in front of live audiences. Now, most people would find that strange because you've been in front of audiences in a way all your life. What's the difference between doing...
the camera is, in a sense, like an eye.
Right.
But it's only one. And you have, sometimes, this umbilical cord kind of connection with the camera.
Right.
And you forget everybody else on the set. You don't even see them. You only see the actor you're working with and only feel their presence and their eyes.
Right.
And you're aware of this eye, but it's only one. I never have been on your show, really, because I thought I'd be terrified of an audience. And you're really not scary at all. But
Come and try the monologue some night, you'll find out. No, that's true. It's a good.
But
It's an
I
interchange.
found on the perfume tour that I was doing questions and answers for thousands of people in department stores, and I had a ball.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
It's not that terrifying.
No.
On the other hand, if I had to do something like in a motion picture, I feel very awkward because I'm so conscious that people are watching maybe what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that bothers me. This doesn't
And
bother
I
me.
forget they're there.
That's interesting.
You have to. Thank you.
Tell me about your friendship with Michael Jackson. It's
Oh.
intriguing because you seem to come from different worlds. You were married on his ranch. They had 22 helicopters overhead. You had people parachuting in, right?
Yes.
How did you become friends? And
We became friends, and he's like my brother. And there actually is a lot of similarity between Michael and myself. We're both from show business children. We started very young, had no childhood to speak of, and went through the loneliness of that and the sort of strangeness of growing up when you're an adult. And he loves animals. I love animals. We're both shy. We actually have a lot in common, and we can talk to each other on so many different levels. And Michael is like litmus paper. He's like
Right.
blotting paper. He just soaks up everything. And he's so curious. And until about 2 months ago, he kept saying to me, "Oh, God, I just loved your performance in Jane Eyre." And I say, "Jane Eyre? I was 11 years old. You know, Michael, I have grown up." He finally
That's
saw Who's
strange.
Afraid of Virginia Woolf and was like very impressed. And I said, "Thank you, Michael." Now I can play the records in ABC.
I forgot that is an interesting parallel. You both started very, very young. You wrote in the book, you said when you were young at the studios, very early in your life, you realized the difference between Elizabeth Taylor, the commodity, and Elizabeth Taylor, the person. How did you come to that realization? Because it's important. You realized what was going on at the studio, but you also... You're a commodity because you're a movie star, right? But did you realize the difference between that and yourself?
Well, I realized there was a certain value to this commodity called Elizabeth Taylor when I told L.B. Mayer, who was swearing at my mother and using words that I really had never heard before.
He was a tyrant, wasn't he?
Oh, he was foaming at the mouth and carrying on like a lunatic. And he was swearing at her and being so abusive. And I jumped up with tears pouring down my face and said, "You and your studio can both go to hell." And I stormed out of his...
How old were you?
15.
And you told that to Louis B. Mayer?
Yeah. And I ran to Benny Thaw's office, who was the vice president, and another vice president came in and said, "You've got to go back and apologize." And I said, "No. Why should I apologize? He should apologize to my mother. I am not apologizing, and I'm not going back in his office." And I never did.
Yeah.
And that sort of made me realize when they didn't fire me that this commodity must have some value to them, otherwise I would have been sacked.
And you-
And I didn't care whether I had been.
And you've heard the famous story that somebody once said, that actor will never work in this town again, unless, of course, we need him.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
There's a lot that
exactly.
meets
I think
the
I
eye.
learned that when I was 15.
Yeah. When you were growing up in the studios in those days, they were protective of the stars, right?
Yeah.
Things have changed a lot. For example, they had press relations people who, if one of the stars maybe went out and had a little too much to drink, that wasn't in the paper, because in those days, that was almost scandalous.
Yeah.
What do you think what's happened lately in all these last 40 years? I
Well-
mean, remember Ingrid Bergman when she,
Yes.
you know, had a little...
I mean, they ran her out of town.
They practically ran her out of the country, and the poor lady didn't work here for almost 20 years. And nowadays, and I'm not being judgmental on this, people have children together who aren't married, and everybody greets it like, you know, what a joyous occasion.
Yeah.
The morality has changed
Thank
completely.
God.
What do you think of that?
I think it's wonderful.
You mean now people are seeing,
I
there's
think
no
there's
hypocrisy
a
about
kind
it?
of freedom. I don't like the yellow journalists, the National Enquirer, and the Gewalt.
Yes.
I hate to even say it. It's like our favorite magazine.
Yes, I
The
know.
one we help support.
Yes.
You know, they get away with absolute murder. I sued
And you know
them
why
a
they
couple
do
of
as well
years
as I
ago.
do.
Huh?
Because it's not worth it sometime to go through all of that.
No, I did sue them, and I did win, and that was very satisfactory.
It was good for you.
It was a good deal.
Yeah.
But I just had gotten sick, and they came up with some facts that were just so totally off the wall.
Yes,
You know, usually they'd put a little bit of element of truth in and embellish it. Well, you know.
That doesn't sell papers. You know, people don't
No,
want to read
of course
that.
not. Everybody believes it, right?
Yeah. Let me ask you another. How do you feel about people, let's say entertainers, who write books and detail, which has been done, I'm not going to mention any names, detail that they have slept with so-and-so or had relations with so-and-so, maybe 20 years ago. Now those same people are married and they have maybe a family, and people write these kiss and tell books talking about alleged...
I think it's
Why do they do that?
unbelievably
Yeah.
tacky.
Gentlemen or ladies don't do that, do they?
I think it's terribly tacky. It's uncalled for, it's not fair, it's selfish, it's exploiting something that supposedly was sentimental, significant, and meaningful.
Right.
And I think it's really bad
Yeah,
taste.
but that seems to be what's happening now in the tabloid journalism.
And people get paid a lot of money for writing it in books.
Yeah. What's the nicest gift you ever received? I know you have a passion for jewelry. That's well publicized. But what's the nicest gift you've ever received?
Oh, God, I've received some. I guess the gift of life.
Yeah. No, that's not. But I mean a material thing.
When I was, okay, probably.
Didn't you have a diamond once the size of a kumquat? I mean, or something like that, or.
Oh, I still have it. You don't throw things like that out.
No, I bet. No, that's not recyclable.
They don't become like used.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I think probably the most exciting present I ever received in my life was when I was 13, after I'd made National Velvet, and the studio gave me the horse.
They did.
Yeah. And that just blew my mind.
Did you keep the horse for a while?
Until it died when I was 24 years old.
That's a pretty long life for a
Yeah.
horse, isn't it?
Yeah.
So your life is pretty happy now.
Yes, very, thank
That's
you.
great. I'm happy for you.
And you look like you're happy too.
I am too. And I
Good.
thank you for coming tonight. You're going to stay with us, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, because Michael Douglas is going to join us in a little while.
Great.
And we'll just stay here and
Okay.
talk some more. Stay where you are. Here's one more.